Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're just going to do a quick little video about the Ram Dakota. Now, since I posted the Ram Dakota information that, this concept truck that was released in Brazil back last month, there's been a lot of hype about this thing. And the funny thing is this is not a truck that we're getting here in North America. This is a totally different truck. This is for the South American market. This is even like really a Stellantis like full out truck. This is based on a joint venture with Changan, this company that's a Chinese company, and they've built several Stellantis mid-sized trucks on this platform. So like they have the Peugeot Landtrack, they also have the Ram 1200 in Mexico, which we talked about the other day. They also have the Fiat Titano, and now they're going to have the Ram Dakota. So again, there's just a lot of hype because, hey, there's a mid-sized truck, but the only problem is it's not coming here for us. So, but the very interesting thing is, I know there's a lot of hype about this thing. A lot of people want to know more about it. So my good friend Marlos Navidel, who is the editor and owner of Autos Segredos or Auto Secrets in Brazil, he basically released some new information about this truck, and he's really cool about sending me spy photos and all the details about anything Stellantis based down there. So I figured, hey, we'll talk about it here on the channel and discuss what we know so far about this new South American model. Now, again, this truck is going to be focused on filling in really the only open slot that Ram has in the Brazilian market, and that's the mid-size truck segment. So they already have a compact truck, which kind of does battle with the Ford Maverick, called the Ram Rampage. That thing's been ultra successful down there. And then they have the Ram 1500, just like they do here, the 2500 and 3500. They did have the Classic, but that was discontinued, obviously. So again, over the last, handful of years, Ram has really expanded its offerings. And you've got to remember, Ram is considered a premium brand in Brazil. They're not just a normal truck brand. Fiat is actually the #1 truck brand. They are the mainstream truck brand, but Ram is considered a premium vehicle, kind of like what Maserati is here. So with that being said, they're looking at making a premium mid-sized truck for that actual South American market. So the first thing we know about this truck is that it will be launched in 2 trims. Now, originally we thought this Nightfall Edition package that kind of looks like a little bit inspired by the TRX would probably make it into some kind of like lineup. However, we're hearing that this is just a concept. A lot of the things that you do see on this truck, like maybe the hood, as well as, the beadlock wheels, the fender flares, and even the San Antonio bar is what they call it, or the actual Ram bar in the back, that will be all under Mopar accessories. So that's what we're being told, is that those parts will be available through Mopar. However, when this truck launches late this year for the Argentina market, and then eventually in the first quarter of 2026 for Brazil, there will only be 2 trims. The first one will be the Bighorn trim. So that's your mainstream trim. Obviously, it follows kind of suit with what we have here in North America. The very interesting thing about the Bighorn trim down there is that the Ram Rampage actually has a Bighorn model, but the Ram 1500 doesn't. So down in, basically down there, they have the Laramie, and they have the Laramie Night Edition right now. And then before they had the limited, before the refresh for 2025, they actually had the limited and the Rebel as well down there. But right now, all they have is Laramie models for the Ram 1500. Eventually, we'll see something different. But since the update, the Laramie models, the Laramie twins, which I say is the Laramie and Laramie Night Edition, are the only ones available for the Ram 1500. So again, Bighorn is going to be a very important part for this truck, because this truck is going to be, even though it's a premium truck, this is going to be one of the more affordable trucks. So it kind of makes sense with the Rampage that it's going to keep a Bighorn model. Now, the more premium model will be the Laramie Night Edition. And you might think, well, why are they doing the blacked out package on the Laramie? Like, to a lot of people, it doesn't make sense. Well, it does, because the Laramie Night Edition package on all of the Ram trucks down in Brazil has been a huge success, to the point where the Rampage got a Laramie Night Edition just recently, and that actually is with the 2.2 liter turbo diesel i4 engine, which is actually going to be in this truck as well. And then the Ram 1500, like I just said, it was launched in 2025 with Laramie and Laramie Night Edition trucks. The Ram 2500 and 3500 also have a Laramie Night Edition package. So again, it makes sense that they're going to kind of follow that formula, especially considering how successful it is as a premium truck down there. So the Laramie Night Edition will be the second package. So again, two trim package like strategy going at launch. Maybe later we'll see some, additional models, maybe a Rebel or something like that. We don't know just yet, but we do know Bighorn and Laramie Night Edition are going to be the two trims at launch when this truck rolls out later this year. Now, again, we just talked about powertrain a little bit. We know for sure now, it's been confirmed, this truck will only have one powertrain. So it will mirror what the Fiat Titano has. And it also will mirror what the Rampage has as basically as a standard engine. So this will be the new 2.2 liter Multijet 2 turbo diesel. And it's an inline 4 engine. Basically, it makes 200 horsepower, 332 pound-feet of torque, or 450 newton meters of torque. And it's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, unlike the Rampage, which is unibody and based on a front-wheel drive platform, this is body-on-frame based on a rear-wheel drive platform. So the 8-speed is actually a ZF-sourced 8-speed automatic, which is the 8HP50. So it's not a 4th generation 8-speed, it's the 3rd generation. So anyways, it's still going to be a good setup. Again, body on frame, it's going to be a true rear-wheel drive based pickup truck. And then the cool thing is it actually does have selectable 4-wheel drive. It's not full-time 4-wheel drive. So you do have 2-wheel drive, you do have 4 high and 4 low. So again, it's still going to follow the traditional mid-size pickup formula. Now, if we actually look at the actual, exterior of the truck, it shares a lot with the Fiat Titano. It's going to be built alongside the Fiat Titano in Argentina at the Cordoba plant. But what's going to really separate it is its front end styling. The front end is going to look totally different. It's going to have a very similar front end to what the Nightfall Concept had. Again, it's going to have premium LED headlamps, premium LED daytime running lights or DRLs. And then on top of it, it's going to have LED fog lamps. So again, being a more premium brand, they're going to really try to separate these trucks from each other. So the Fiat Titano is going to be your mainstream work truck kind of, offering. And then the Ram Dakota is going to be your premium offering going forward. Now, also, if you actually look at the difference of the trucks, the back of the trucks are going to be a little different too. So the tail lamps on the Dakota are actually going to come from the Chinese Changan Hunter truck that this truck is based on. That's going to be different than the Fiat Titano. The Fiat Titano has its own tail lamps, kind of different styling, kind of basic, where the Changan Hunter has actually got LED tail lamps. So again, Fiat's going to have, incandescent light bulbs. Ram's going to have LEDs. It's the small things that are really going to set these trucks apart. On top of that, if you actually look at these trucks, it really changes is the interior. Now, the interior is going to be very different because if you look at the Fiat Titano's interior is basically almost on par with what the Ram 1200 has in Mexico. It's very work truck based. It's very functional, but it looks very much like the Ram 1200, so it's very basic. This Ram Dakota is actually getting the interior from the Changan Hunter. So the Changan Hunter actually got an update. It actually has an all-electric model, and it actually looks really good. It's very sleek. It's got big touch screens inside of it, and looks very modern. So this interior, if you see this picture here, compare it to the Titano, you're going to see the massive difference between the two trucks. And again, it's taking parts from the Fiat Titano, the Changan Hunter, and kind of merging them into one premium pickup truck for the segment. So again, this is where the vehicles are going to be really different and going to justify the price difference between them, even though the powertrain and everything else is the same. Now, let's talk about the actual launch of the truck. So, this truck, again, will launch in Argentina by the end of this year. We don't have a specific date just yet, but it will launch in the 4th quarter and roll out in Argentina. The truck will then roll out to Brazil in the 1st quarter. Again, we don't know if it's going to be January or February when it hits dealers in Brazil, but it's going to be one of those 2 months. And then by the end of next year, the Ram Dakota will roll out across South America. So Ram is planning on having this truck across multiple countries in the region. Now, we don't know if it's going to be exported to, maybe the Middle East or something, but for now, all we know is it's going to be designated for the South American market. And again, this truck is totally different than the one we're going to be getting. So the weird thing is we don't know just how they're going to do it yet in Argentina, but we know for a fact Once this truck hits Brazil in the first quarter, it won't be a 2026 model. It will be a 2027 model. And it's kind of interesting because we heard in 2027 that Ram is going to actually build a North American pickup, a midsize truck. Now, again, that truck could have the Dakota name for here. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same truck, because we know that that truck's going to be bigger. Because if you actually look at this truck compared to like the current Ford Ranger, it's just slightly smaller. But our truck here will be bigger and will be, more high tech. It will have, completely different powertrains and whatnot. And again, it will be built here in the United States. So again, there's been a lot of excitement about this truck, not just for North America, because hey, Ram's building mid-sized trucks, but just not here. But there's been a lot of excitement for South America. A lot of people are looking forward to Ram actually offering a mid-sized truck again. So tell me what you think about this new truck. Would you be okay with this Chinese-based mid-sized truck rather than having a completely, built in the U.S. truck here? I know a lot of people hate that fact, but a lot of people actually like the styling of this thing, considering it's kind of a hodgepodge truck. But again, this truck was designed, or I should say jointly developed by Stellantis and Changan. So again, it's been out for quite a while, and it's been slightly updated by Stellantis for Stellantis use. But again, it's a lot different than the Ram 1200 that we've seen in the video the other day. But tell me what you guys think about this whole Ram Dakota thing. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.